So it's as simple and innocent as like them holding your hand or like, touching your shoulder if they want to make their point or their elbow.
Or like playing with your hair.
Yeah.
Or pulling your hair.
Your mind is in the gutter. Get it out. Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Cold Brews. I'm your co-host Colleen.
And I'm Allison. Welcome back to the pod.
Woo!
Episode 4?
I think.
Yeah, it's episode 4. See, we
crazy.
get kind of confused sometimes because we record 2 episodes in a day, basically. The reason why we do this is so that you guys can get a teaser at the end of each episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then if anything is missing, like we usually just record like midweek or like the date that we're editing. Like if anything's missing, we'll just go and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we're confused. Sorry, everybody. Watch us be so off.
What are we talking about in this episode?
In today's pod, we'll be talking about 2 things.
Which is?
1.
We're running out of things to talk about.
No. Okay, stop jinxing this.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about our love languages. What was the second one?
Manifestation!
Oh
my God.
I forgot. Sorry.
All right, so in this week's episode, we're going to be touching on love language. There's so many memes on like love language.
Yeah.
Colin and I take a love language test, so that's interesting.
Yes, we're going to talk about what we think our love language is, why. We're going to guess each other's love language, and then we're going to reveal our actual love language. So stay tuned.
Yeah. And then after we'll be discussing the spiritual powers of manifestation. Whether or not you believe in it, we do, and we think it's real. So stay tuned for that.
So, fun fact, they have love languages for like everybody. When I say everybody, they mean for couples, for singles like us, and for children, which is super weird.
Yeah. I didn't know what all of the 5 love languages were until today. Because there's so many memes online where I'm just like, is this love language? I don't even know, right?
I genuinely thought food was a love language because
There's one that said, do you want to get coffee? Is my love language.
So blah, blah, blah is my love language is such a meme right now.
Yes,
and it's online. Yes. And I believe everything I see, which is probably not good. But.
All right. So what are the 5 love languages?
So the first one is words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty self-explanatory. Like your love language is words that affirm you and validate you.
Yeah.
Number 2 is quality time. Self-explanatory. 3 is acts of services.
Mm-hmm. But that could also include like cooking, right?
Yeah. So you value when your partner goes out of the way to make your life easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's things like bringing you soup when you're sick, making coffee for you in the morning, etc. Number 4 is gifts. Straightforward. Like when someone gives you stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And number 5 is physical touch. It doesn't have to be anything sexual. So it's as simple and innocent as like them holding your hand or like, touching your shoulder if they want to make their point or their elbow.
Or like playing with your hair.
Yeah.
Or pulling your hair.
Your mind is in the gutter. Get it out.
Okay. So those are the 5 love languages.
Yeah. So to let our listeners know, we have an idea of what we think our love language is, but we also took a quiz.
Yeah, there's an actual quiz online.
Yeah.
What's
and that's
called?
what I was saying. It's just called the FUB.
It's just called the FUB.
It's called the 5 love language test. That's a tongue twister. You say it.
5 love. 5 love language tests. 5 love language tests.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's your love language then?
What?
What you think it is, and then what your results said.
So, I think my love language is words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a tie between words of... What's wrong with me today? I think it's a tie between words of affirmation and physical touch.
Physical touch? God.
Yeah, what?
Physical touch?
Okay, get your mind out of the gutter.
Okay, physical touch, okay. No, the only reason why I was laughing because you just got out of a freaking long distance relationship.
Which is why...
Oh, because you
know what I mean?
crave physical
That's
touch.
what I mean, yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so then what did your results say?
My primary love language
is...
Why don't you guess?
Okay, let me guess. Okay. Ooh, what are the 5 again? Wait 1 second. I have it here.
Okay.
Okay, so you think yours is
words of affirmation and or physical touch.
Okay, but pick one.
I think it's words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation,
yeah.
Okay. All right, so I think your love language is quality. I can't even say this word. Quality. Quality.
God.
Quality.
Say quality.
Wait. Quality.
That's my love language.
Is that it? Is that the
quality
word?
Quality time?
So I think your love language is quality time. You know why?
Why?
Okay. Only because, like, I know whenever you're dating someone, you're always the one to plan out dates. And then if your partner is, like, planning out the date, and then you tell me about it after, you're like, oh my God, we did this. And then we did this, and this. And you're, like, so happy about it. That's the only reason why I think it's quality time.
And you're right. Yeah. So I'll read you what the description says.
Okay. Wow.
In quality time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm scared. Nothing says I love you like full, undivided attention. Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there with the TV off, fork and knife down, and all chores and tasks on standby makes you feel truly special and loved.
Yeah, you don't even look at your phone.
Yeah. It bothers me when on a date that somebody is on their phone. Mm-hmm. Especially when we're having dinner. I'm like, oh, am I boring to you? Even when we're having dinner as a family, like...
Yeah, you're always like, guys, like, come on, like, get off your phones, like, you know? Yeah, you are that type.
I always plan out things, and I'm always surprised when someone I'm dating plans something out.
Yeah.
And it's, like, so cute and fun. So, you're right.
I know. I'm right. And the thing is, whenever you plan out a date, you're, like... Your budget doesn't even, like...
I don't have a budget.
There's no budget with you. But then, at the same time, you're not really spending so much money. But, like, if you're, like, at freaking Snakes and Ladders...
Lattes.
Is it lattes?
Yeah, it's a play on the game, Snakes and Ladders.
So, like, you spend, like, all this money on the games and, like, drinks and stuff. And you just want to make sure that other person is having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I put a lot of thought into it. And, like, whether or not it's, like, dating somebody or just, like, being with other people, I always think about them. Not to make anyone else sound selfish, but I'm just like, what would they enjoy? What would they like? You know what I mean? Yeah. Out of the 5 love languages, though, this is only 33% for me. Yeah. It's so funny because 20% is physical touch, and 23, surprisingly, is receiving gifts.
Okay, wait a minute. You did get gifts, though.
Like, I get gifts, or
yeah, like
you
get like flowers, you get like a freaking bear, a painting.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So, do you want to know mine?
Before I know yours.
Okay.
What do you think your love language is?
So, besides coffee, it's our bubble tea.
Yeah.
Whenever someone says, like, you want to get bubble tea?
I was like, you perk up right away, yeah.
Besides that, like, I think it's words of affirmation. I constantly need to know that you're still into me. And I don't know why. It's like, I know that you're into me, but at the same time, I need you to say it.
Okay.
You know, just like out of the blue, or even like every day, like, tell me you love me every day. You know?
Okay, honestly, I feel like sometimes that can get annoying though.
No, like, I'm not asking you to tell me like every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't need to know like why every
Yeah.
10 minutes as well. Like, I just need to know that you're still into me. And if I feel like you're not into me anymore, or like, I don't know, I just create scenarios in my head.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, this person's probably bored of me, whatever. Like, then I start to like back off.
Are you someone who takes silence as like I'm not interested in you
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah. But here's the thing, like, you can be silent, like, we can be like physically like into each other.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're doing physical things.
Yeah.
But I still need you to tell me
that you want me and need me and like.
Yeah.
I get it.
I still need to hear those words, you know? Like, I remember like this one guy I was seeing is like, I don't need to tell you you're pretty. Like, you already know you're pretty. But it's like, tell me.
Okay. So when you put it that way, like, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what you mean.
Like, you know what really pissed me off was like, why am I getting the attention from other guys when I should be getting it from you?
From you, yeah.
Yeah.
Did
so
you
I
get
think
mad?
It's words of affirmation. And so I did the quiz. Okay, so guess what my love language is?
Your love language? See, because you know yourself so well, like, I do feel like it is words of affirmation, but
okay.
As a runner-up, I think... What are the 5? Hold on. Quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, receiving gifts. I think, aside from words of affirmation, it's acts of service.
Acts of service?
Yeah. What is it?
Okay. Wait. Wait, so like, why do you think that?
Acts of service?
Acts of service and words of affirmation.
Well, you explained it for me, like, why words of affirmation is your love language. Like, you've said this so many times, like, during late night talks or, like, in the car when we're talking about this sort of stuff, where you're just like, I need you to tell me that you want me and you want to be with me.
Yeah.
I also feel like acts of service might be your love language because I just have a feeling you like people doing things for you. You know what I mean? Like, you will not cook. Like, you can
I will cook.
You can cook
what do you
two
mean?
things.
I cooked for you.
Yeah.
I made you a chicken wrap.
For, like, the first time in 20 years.
Okay. But I will buy you food.
Yeah. I buy you food, too.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think you do so many acts of service for people. Like, you're the person in your family that has a car. So automatically you service your family so much.
I'm a certified Uber driver.
You just, see, that's the thing. You give out so much, you want that in return. So I feel like when someone does that shit for you, where they drive for you, they get you food, they're like, go do your nails, you know? Like, do this. Take care of yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what you crave and want. Like, you don't want to do everything you already do for other people with your partner. Like, you want them to do what you do for others. Does that make sense?
Like, whenever, like, someone has to drive, I'm like, I don't want to drive.
I know, exactly.
Like, I don't want to drive. I appreciate it when someone's like, I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
You know? Or, you know what my favorite thing is? This is what I miss about, like, dating in general. I miss having someone pump my gas.
You make me pump your gas.
No, but not recently.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been a while.
I did
no,
pump your
but
gas.
like, you would pump my gas and I would go pay.
Yeah. Multitasking efficiency.
Yeah, so like, I miss that.
Like, you want like a man.
Yes!
So like, acts of service is one of those things.
Yeah, it's
chivalry.
It's so true. Oh my god.
So, okay, what is your actual love language?
Okay. My actual primary love language is words of affirmation.
Oh, interesting. What's the percentage though?
So I got 37%.
Oh, okay.
So actions don't always speak louder than words. If this is your love language, unsolicited compliments mean the world to you. Hearing the words I love you are important. Hearing the reasons behind that love sends you spirit skyward. Insults can leave you shattered and are not easily forgotten.
God.
That's true. You thrive on hearing kind and encouraging words that build you up. 100%. Both like professionally and personally.
Yeah, it's like a feedback loop. Like you need feedback to keep going.
Yeah, no, I always need feedback. Like even at work, I'm like, how did I do? Do you need me to do any edits? Like I need to know.
Yeah.
And I always end my emails like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, let me know if you need anything. Let me know if I should make any further edits.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'm like, let me know. Kind regards, Allison.
Okay. Warm regards. And when you're not in the mood.
Thanks. No, but I always say thanks though.
Regards. So that was 37%. What were your runner-ups?
So 27% quality time.
What?
Yeah.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed that for you.
Well, there was questions on here and it asked, do you want to just do things with just your partner or like do things with like everyone else?
I did not get that
question. You didn't
question.
get that question?
No.
Yeah, and I chose like I would rather just do things with just my partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quality time, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then
that makes sense.
17% was acts of service.
Okay, so it was like kind of
Pump my
right.
gas. Pump
Yeah.
my gas. 13% physical touch.
Ah. Wow, really?
Yeah, I know, right?
What?
Oh, I know why. Because like there's that question.
With the back rub one? I did choose the back rub.
Did you choose the back rubbing? The question was like, do you prefer if your partner gives you a back rub or there was something else?
Mine is just like says they appreciate you.
Oh.
I'm like, I would rather have a back rub.
So that was 13%. And then 7% was receiving gifts.
Oh, wow. Mine was 23.
23?
Yeah, my that was the second.
But I think it's pretty accurate.
I surprised myself today. I think quality time is like, it makes sense. That's like a given for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of surprised seeing as like I feel more introverted recently. Like I value my time separately.
Yeah.
On my own, whether it's with friends, family, or like a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to have alone time.
Yeah, like everyone deserves that, right? But then there are those who say like, well, if like you're with your partner or you're living with them, then your time is their time as well. And I don't agree.
No, you need to have your own space
Mm-hmm.
and like boundaries.
Yes, boundary. So like now that you know what your love language is, do you think that in your next relationship you would voice that now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't really expect to get into relationships and bring up that sort of stuff, but I think consciously now knowing what I need from a partner or what this quiz tells me at least is like my greatest need, it's important. You're telling them how to communicate with you.
Yeah. I need to be more open. I need to communicate more. But my problem is like I hold it all in when I'm like finally gonna say something. Like I get so mad or I'm like so upset that I start to cry.
Oh, you're a crier. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna cry right now. But like I end up crying. But I know that going forward, I do need to speak up more.
Yeah, and communicate in that way. Because it could really help somebody understand you more, especially if you're really not secretive, but just not used to talking about your feelings or emotions as much.
Yeah, like I gotta remember they can't read my mind.
Yeah, and I think it's the common thing of being like, well, they should know. Like, you should know how I feel. Yeah. You know, one of those things.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do feel like that. I'm like, how can you not tell that I'm sad right now?
Read the room.
Read the room.
God.
No, seriously. Okay, so we talked about love language and what your love language is and what you now expect from your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever manifest what you want in a relationship and what you want in a partner?
Yes, like I think everybody has ideal qualities they want with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm like, the more I try to manifest something specifically in a relationship or in a partner, the more it backfires on me.
Total
Like,
opposite.
yeah, like what my belief when it comes to relationships and like love is like, let it come to you. Like, work on you, you know, like, do good. I don't know. Just focus on yourself and your growth, and then more things will come.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, like I agree in terms of like focusing on yourself and knowing yourself before you share yourself with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like you should have a standard. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You should know what you want because, like, why should you settle for less?
No, I agree. Because you deserve what you deserve. I don't know how else to put it though. Like,
yeah, and it's not you being
shallow
or bougie or whatever because you want a certain type of relationship and partner. You know, it's not about that. It's like, why shouldn't you want the best for yourself?
Exactly. And that comes with the person that you want to be with, not just for yourself. Agreed.
So, manifestation via Wikipedia refers to the various self-help strategies intended to bring about a personal goal primarily by focusing on one's thought upon the desired outcome. The techniques are based on the law of attraction, the new thought spirituality. While the process involves positive thinking or even directing requests to the universe, it also involves action steps on the part of the individual.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that. Like, you can't just say you want something, but you're not doing anything.
Yeah, so I think that's the common misconception when it comes to manifesting. Like, people just sit there and they're like, I'm manifesting this, but like, it's not just gonna fall out of the sky. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put in work for it, and I think that's the biggest misconception, that they think you just sit there and wait for it to happen, when that's not true.
Yeah. Well, you hear manifestation everywhere now, right?
It's
all over.
It's a buzzword.
Yeah, it's all over social media. Manifest this, manifest that.
Yeah.
But like, put in the work also.
Yeah. I think manifesting helps you see you're at point A and you want to get to point Z. So you have like a line of sight where you're like, okay, to be able to get to there, I need to do this, this, and this.
Yeah, and it's all like a mindset. It changes your way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
When you're manifesting things that you want that are positive, it changes your thought process, right?
Mm-hmm.
You become more positive. And I think that then turns you into a like more positive person, into like actually actioning those items that you want.
Yeah, you're almost training your mind and you're reinforcing these sorts of habits. Like, for you, like what I see often in like on Instagram or Twitter is like, they're like, I'm leaving negative people behind in 2020.
Yeah.
But the flip side is you're really only focusing on good things and good people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that breeds into how you think and how you feel. And it's kind of like contagious that way.
Yeah. Have you ever manifested anything and it's actually come true?
I honestly don't know if I have. So let's start with you. Have you manifested anything that has come to fruition?
Yeah, I feel like where do I even start with this?
You can start wherever you want.
I think like the most recent like thing that I would say happened would be like 2 years ago. I would say I was so miserable. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, just within my career and like what was going on in my life. And I knew that the job that I was doing was just bringing me down mentally. Mm-hmm. You know? And the friendship that I was having was also like mentally draining me as well. And I would bring that into my workplace. I remember, like, I always told myself, like, yeah, I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Like, I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day,
Yeah.
I just woke up one day and I was like, I need something new. I need to start fresh. I need to be happy. You know, and that day I changed my number.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
Yeah.
It honestly, like, it could have been a red flag for some people. But you're just like one of those people where once you set your mind to something, you will do it.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm changing my number because the only people who should have my number right now should be those who actually care about me and
talk to you.
And talk to me and like those like people like I actually care about and stuff like that, right? And then I remember I went to Starbucks and I edited my resume.
Oh.
Yeah, I just like edited everything and then I was like applying to jobs every day. And then there was like one point where I was like, I'm never gonna get like a new job. Like, you know, like I was like applying to things where I'm like, do I even want this? But I'm like, who knows? What if I do like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I kept telling myself, like, I'm gonna get a new job. I'm gonna get a new job. I'm gonna get a new job, right? And then I was like, you know, I need to start doing something. I need to do something that would make me happy. And then, do you remember that random day we were like, let's go to Mexico?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, did we really say YOLO?
Yeah. I remember I was at your house and we were like, yo, Mexico.
Oh my gosh.
I was so miserable. And I remember you were like, we need to do something.
Yeah, because we always try to travel every year, but I feel like that year we traveled already.
We went to New York.
Oh.
We just came back from New York, but it wasn't like we needed more.
It was only like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
I think we were away.
So we booked Mexico and I knew.
At a good resort, like a 4 or 5 star resort. Yeah.
I knew that like Mexico, I wasn't going to come back to my job, okay?
I remember you saying that the last day of your work was going to be the day we left for Mexico. And like, if you had a job when you came back, you had a job. But if you didn't, you didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, is she okay? You were just fed up though.
You know, like I was like going through like a lot that
you were
summer.
Going through it, yeah.
Yeah, so I basically had like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I basically had 3 weeks to find a new job. And if I didn't find a new job, I basically would have been jobless by the time I got back from Mexico.
But you honestly didn't care. You're like, if I need to go on EI, sure.
Yeah.
You just
I had enough money saved up for like the next 6 months, but I'm like, but if I need to go on EI, like I'll do it. Like I have no choice.
Yeah,
right?
Like I just feel like you were fed up spending your energy in a place where it just wasn't worth it for you.
Yeah, it just wasn't. And so, you know, every day, like I was literally like I was like on the verge of like giving up on like applying for jobs. But I told myself like, no, this is gonna happen. And then one random freaking day, my friend hits me up. Okay, my college friend. And she's like, hey, like, are you still looking for a new job? Because I remember venting to her one day, right?
Yeah.
Are you still looking for a job? And I'm like, yes. Yes, I'm still looking for a job. She's like, there's this opening. Send me your resume, blah, blah, blah. And like, from there, like, everything changed.
It like all fell into place.
Yeah,
Shout out to your friend. Say her name, man.
Shout out to Kaylee.
And what I love about Kaylee too is I think there were other job openings, but she's like, you're too good for this. She's like, it's not worth your time.
Yeah. No, like, oh, yes. Because so when I got set up with an interview, right?
Yeah.
I started getting calls for interviews from other places.
They sense the energy.
Yes. And then I remember I was like, no, what? Let me do this interview because like I knew that there's something about it. I'm like, I need to go. I just need to go, you know? So, yes, no, I would say after like getting the job and I was going to Mexico,
Yeah.
like everything was just like lining up for me, you know? Like everything.
We had a good time in Mexico, aside from your food. Your
Aside
heat.
from
Your
me
heat
dying.
stroke, yeah.
Aside from me almost dying in Mexico, we had a good time.
Yeah. It was actually fun and like a great, send off before you actually started your new career.
Yeah. So like from there, everything was just like happening for me, like career-wise, personal, like it took a while for me to start dating again, but then when I started dating again, I was like, holy shit, like this is so much fun. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I was actually having fun. I was like,
I-
I wasn't coming home like
yeah.
sad.
I know. You deserve to have fun.
I feel like that whole life transition was like manifestation coming true for me.
Yeah. It literally pivoted your life in a whole different direction, I think. There were so many more possibilities that came out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And last year, I remember when this whole like pandemic started and we started working from home, I knew I needed to work my ass off because I wanted to pass my probation, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
One. I wanted to get a bonus and like a pay raise, even like a raise in general. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just knew I wanted that and I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that was also me putting in the work.
Yeah.
I just didn't just speak that into existence.
Yeah, every couple of months, like in a year, we're like, okay, what's our goal of like making
Yes.
of our salary like at the end of the year?
Yeah,
And it's
we
always
do
happens
this-
for us.
We do this all the time. and it works. It actually
It
works.
works.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like we didn't put in the work, but we're like, when we set a number to it and we're like, this, it always comes as a shock to us that we actually get that. We're like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Because you know what it is too? Like, yeah, we work hard for it and like we commit ourselves to be able to get to that place. But do you remember when you were texting me when you overheard the conversation at Walmart between those two employees?
Oh yeah, that was like that really put things into perspective for me.
It humbled me a lot too.
Yeah. So I went to Walmart and I was just like, roaming around the aisles, just looking for stuff I don't need. And then there was this employee, he was talking to another guy who was like older.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you have to put in the work, you want a raise, you have to put in the work. And then he's just like, but, like they don't notice anything, whatever. And he's like, I've been working here for like, I don't know how many years, but he got a 50-cent raise.
Yeah.
And he was so proud of the 50-cent raise.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wow, I need to be more appreciative of what I have.
Yeah, I think that story really, really humbled me. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I should be happy that I'm getting what I worked for, but also be more appreciative and grateful that like we're in this position at what I think is like still like a younger age.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
It's so weird because that was me like 3 years ago when I thought like 50-cent raises were like everything.
Yeah.
It's always the more labor intensive jobs where you have to work harder and fight tooth and nail just to get like a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I find like when I used to work at my old job in retail, like I remember being so happy that with my promotion as assistant manager, I got like I don't know, like a $2, $3 raise.
It had to been more than $2 for you to be like, oh my god, because it's a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal
in
yeah.
retail, yeah.
You were like, oh my gosh, really? Like, that's what I get? Because, like, when you change positions, you're like, how many more dollars an hour can I get a raise by? Mm-hmm. And if we were talking dollars, like, that was insane.
Yeah. You know what we manifest a lot?
No, what?
You know what it is.
What is it?
Winning the lottery.
Oh, okay. I thought you're saying what we manifest that actually happens. Like, yes.
Here's the thing. We need to be more specific, okay? Because we always manifest winning the lottery and what we would do with the money, right?
Yeah.
Like buying our family a house.
Yeah.
And then like buying like condos that are like, or units are next to each other or like in the same neighborhood, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we always like paying off our friends' debt, like, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
But how much more specific can we get?
we need to start saying we're gonna win the jackpot. Okay?
Like this Tuesday's lottery.
Yeah, because think about it. We always say we're gonna win the lottery. We've won the lottery how many times?
True.
Whether it's $5, free play, $20. So that's technically winning, right? But we need to be more specific.
That's true. Yeah. Because every time near my house, there's a Circle K. So we always see like the numbers, like the jackpot numbers. And every time we pass it, we're like, all we need is 10 million. You know what I mean?
You know what? Whenever it gets to like 70 million, you know, and it's like crazy like that.
Yeah.
I'm always like, you know what? I don't mind winning with 7 other people, okay?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Like, it's totally fine. Like, it's a lot of money.
It is, yeah.
You know, and then we think about, oh, what if we just win $1 million? $1 million is also a lot of money, but then it limits you from helping everyone that you want to help out.
It's like a little boost, like, you know, in Mario Kart where you go through those like arrows that go
Yes.
like it's the $1 million to do.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll still take it. I'll still take the $1 million.
Yeah. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Bro.
My mom and I, we bought the Princess Margaret home lottery.
Yeah.
And it may happen, it may not, but I'm saying we're gonna win.
Do it.
We're gonna win something. You know? I know that the early bird prize comes out April 7th, I think.
Oh, that's like next Wednesday.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it'll be like a really good early birthday gift for myself.
If you like win the house or something.
Yeah, like I think the early bird prize is a condo and like
Ooh.
$25,000. So like going back, have you manifested anything that's come true?
Honestly, so I don't, okay, compared to you, I don't think I manifested anything specifically, but I've always thought about having like, what?
Sorry.
What are you laughing? Is it my hair? No. What is it?
Sorry. I opened my phone and I like Instagram just popped up.
Yeah.
And then it's this guy that I used to talk to on Tinder years ago. Like, you know when you don't even remember, like, that you have this person on social media?
Yeah, they just pop out of
They just pop up?
nowhere, Yeah.
So it was just, like, one of those, and then it shows that, like, someone from my high school liked their picture.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh my god, they all know each other.
What a small world.
Oh my god.
It's so weird how people know each other.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted.
I don't even know what it... Oh, I don't think I've manifested anything as specific as you, but I've always... Like, I've only ever had really 2 jobs. I worked in retail. Like, retail was retail. Like, you just gotta do it because it's a job. I like the people I worked with, but I'm like, I want a nice work environment. Like, I want something chill.
Yeah.
Where I can, like, drink at work and, like, be friends with, like, my boss and go out for drinks with them and not feel, like, bad about it. And I've always envisioned, like, a good work environment. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm gonna find this.
Yeah.
And then it happened with my current workplace.
Yeah.
And it was just such a dream. I remember going to the office and, like, doing an interview. And, like, going around. And I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to get a job here. It's, like, too good.
Yeah.
Like, free drinks, free snacks, like, great holiday parties.
Oh, you have a great, like, rooftop patio.
Great rooftop patio.
Yeah. It was such a vibe. Like, I remember when I came to your work.
Yeah.
And then everyone just came outside with their laptops and started working. I was like, what the what the fuck is this, man?
Yeah, and they renovated it recently. But we can't go because, you know. And yeah. And it just, like, all happened. And I think for the first, maybe, like, 6 months, I had, like, imposter syndrome. Which is, like, basically, you don't feel like you belong or you are where you're supposed to be. Because you're like, is this too good to be true? Am I actually supposed to be here? Like, what if they realize one day I'm not the person they thought they hired?
Well, hence there's probation, right?
Yeah,
So,
but like
so they can fire you within that time frame.
I've been there for almost 3 years.
So
Like,
I think you're fine.
I hope I'm fine. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood right now. Hears this and he's like, call.
I think that's the closest I've come to manifesting, but I also feel like it was meant to happen because I've told other people like how I got hired at this job, but like I'll talk about it here, where it literally like was a shot in the dark, because I remember I was graduating in 2018 from school and I was like, I don't want to work in retail for the rest of my life. Like, I don't want to manage a store. I don't want to move up in that ladder. For me, like, retail was not the career path I wanted. I didn't know what path I wanted, but I knew I just wanted something else.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're like, I don't know what I want to eat, and someone's like, is it this? And you're like, no. You know, it's basically that.
Yeah. It's like, I want something else, just not this.
Exactly. And until you tell me or give me an option, I'll know more. And so I remember going on an Indeed and like...
It was Indeed? You got this job from Indeed?
Yeah, I remember going through
Let's bleep this because they're not sponsored.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember going through like almost every job posting with like the word customer service. I remember applying and I'm just like, you know, I just gotta like cast my net super wide because, you know, you don't know.
Just apply everywhere.
I applied everywhere.
Do you ever, with resumes...
proficient in Microsoft.
But like
Sweet.
The cover letters, it's the same thing. You just change the company's name.
Oh, I almost had a situation where I didn't change the cover letter from one company to another, which is terrible.
Yeah.
But I worked so hard on my resume and I like put out all these like applications. And I remember coming across the company I currently work at now. And I remember reading the thing and I was like, there's no way I qualify. There's no way I can get this. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And so 2 weeks passed by and like I didn't get anything. And I was graduating and finishing the semester in honestly like less than a month. So I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. And one day I was just compelled to check my junk email. And wouldn't you know it, there was an email from HR from that company who sent me an email a week ago.
Oh my god, a week?
What was happening was that the recruiting website they were using had an email that looked spammy or junky.
Yeah.
And so it went straight to my junk mail. And I never saw it for a week. And so when I opened it, I saw the recruiter sent me 2 emails over the last week.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The first email was them doing the generic thing of like, hey, saw your resume. Would you be interested in like a phone interview? Yada, yada, yada. And then the second one, days later, was like, I don't do this at all. And send out a second reach out if someone doesn't respond. But she was like, there's something about you that I want to like keep trying and like get a hang of you. And I was like, oh my God. And like, here I am. And I was like, I never saw this. I'm so sorry.
You manifested the new job.
Yeah. But it's crazy how it just happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you also put in the work.
Yeah.
Right? So there's like speaking it into existence, but also putting in the work towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What would you right now, what would you like to manifest in your life right now?
I don't know. Like, what a
3-carat ring.
What a loaded
a house.
question. I think I want to manifest like good. No, it's on the tip of my tongue. I want to manifest stability.
Stability.
Yeah, like financial stability and
that's
emotional
good.
stability.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Why that exactly again?
So today, one of my friends asked me like, hey, like, how are you doing so far? And my answer was like, honestly, I'm finally getting into a routine again with myself.
Yeah.
That I kind of lost over the last year because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I realized then how much of my identity was centered around my workplace and my job. And I still have a job.
Yeah.
But like working from home forces you to like really think about what you're doing with the rest of your life and the rest of your time. I don't know how to explain it. I want to manifest more financial and emotional stability because it's like what I need to get to the next steps of my life. Like I want us to have our own place and our own space to be able to, you know, do what we do and create and just have like us time and like alone time to just be ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? And I just want to be emotionally stable. Like, I don't know.
I feel you.
So, yeah, it's very vague and like weird.
Emotional stability, like I've never thought about that till now.
Yeah.
Where it's so true. Like I totally agree with you, because like I feel like for me to get to that point, like I would have to actually seek out professional help.
Yeah, and it's kind of like scary.
It is.
I'm really thankful though for like the ongoing, what is it? Destigmatizing, or what is it? Like the you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm really thankful for the continuous work on like removing the stigma when it comes to professional help and like therapy, because so many people like we know go to therapy
or have gone to therapy.
Yeah. And it's like nothing to be ashamed about. I don't know about you, but in 2020 and 2021, I've had more days where you're just kind of like, you don't really know what you're doing. You're just kind of going through motions.
At least you can go for like walks. Like I know like going out for like drives really helps me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But the thing is, like whenever I need to clear my mind, I go and drive somewhere. Like I just hate that I have to think about where I'm going walking by myself.
Like you have to always be like alert?
Yeah, like I go to like parks where I know there's going to be other families there.
Yeah.
You know, like there's certain places where like, you know what, let me go like hiking in Hamilton or something, whatever. But I know I can't.
You always have to go with somebody.
Yeah, I can't just do that by myself.
Yeah. And I can only go for walks in the morning and like, or after work. And like during the whole winter, I couldn't go for a walk after work.
Because it's already dark.
It was pitch black.
Yeah.
And like, it's so annoying. There was this one tweet where this girl was just like, my male coworker told me that one of his favorite things to do to like relieve stress at night was to put on his headphones, play music, and go for a walk in the city. And he asked me why I didn't do that. And like all the women in the like the thread were like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Why don't you think we can't do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Driving, I guess, is like is a safer way to do it.
Yeah, but not in traffic. So I gotta do it in like certain times where it's just open road, where you know there's like not much traffic.
So circling back, like we talked about what we have manifested in the past, but is there anything that you want to manifest now and in the future?
My 3-carat ring, radiant cut. No halos.
No, she's not a fan of halos. Whoever
no
listens
halos.
To this.
But you know, like if it's not 3, like I'll do 1. Okay, so you're asking me this because you did ask me this last week, right?
I did.
And we're re-recording some parts right now, and I've thought about it. I've thought about like certain things that I would want to experience in my life. And I think there's like a couple where I'm just like, I want to experience the true feeling of like being happy.
Okay.
And I don't know what that's going to be in the future.
Yeah.
But I would like to experience that, and then also experience like romance.
Yeah.
But like in like the purest form, you know? Just like straight romance.
I feel like you have to be like in Italy or like Greece to experience, though I know the kind of romance you're thinking about.
Yeah, like you know what? I want to experience the hearts and flowers of everything. I know that it's pretty lame.
No, it's not lame.
But
I think
I would like to know what it feels like. I would like to know what it feels like to have someone love you that much.
And just like not not think about anything else. Like, I think you're talking about wanting to be just consumed in your love. Like,
I just want to experience like the romance that you see in movies and that
yeah.
you read, and like, yeah, like I want to experience just romance in like the purest form and like the rawest form of raw. Like, but you know what I mean? I think about what I want to manifest in my personal life, my love life, and I thought about like my professional life, right? And I think about like sometimes I don't know what I really want professionally,
Mm-hmm.
but I know what I would like to one day become.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look at my boss and I'm like, wow, like she's a freaking boss,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I'm like,
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is.
I see how much people respect her and how much men respect her in the workplace as well.
Yeah.
Being like one of the very few women who is in this
her
industry.
level of like leadership in the company.
And at her level, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see so many people who like reach out and they want a mentorship with her, right? Because they just look up to her, they respect her. She's at that level now where you're like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and especially in this industry that's filled with men, it's so like respectful, and like just to see it in person, it inspires me to be at that level at one day. Like I would one day want someone who's like me to look up to me and see me the way I see
her,
my boss,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, so I would want to be in that point in my life professionally one day,
mm-hmm.
whatever it is, in whatever field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like right now I don't know like specifically career wise what I'm gonna end up doing like 5-10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I want to eventually get to that point
mm-hmm.
in life.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I don't have a specific position I want to be in the future. All I know is I want to impact people, because that's the biggest return on investment you can have wherever you work, is inspiring and leading people.
Totally agree, yeah. To touch base on, you were talking about manifesting financial stability.
Mm-hmm.
I was on YouTube and I read this quote. Yeah, she was like openly talking about her finances and how she affords her cost of living every month, right? She lives in Paris. Wow. You know, she's like a vlogger, and
Good
she
for
also
her.
has like her side business. She talks about how much she makes in her company, how much she pays herself.
Mm-hmm.
So she talks about how like she pays herself $8,000, which covers like her living expenses, right, in Paris. And then there was a comment like in her comment section, right? And someone quoted, "Money is an energy that needs to flow."
Yeah, you mentioned this, yeah.
Right? And I was like, when I read that, I was like, yes.
So how do you interpret that quote of money is an energy that needs to flow? I'm interested.
So how I initially interpreted just watching her video and then just reading that, I was like, you know what? It's true. Like money, it is important to a sense where what kind of life do you want to live? Mm-hmm. You know, and you need to have like the right mindset of like working hard and like thriving towards your goals, like so you can obtain those things, right? So you can obtain that lifestyle that you want for yourself. Mm-hmm. And if you have that energy to do so, the money will keep coming in. It'll keep flowing.
I see.
That's how I took it. Like, you know?
While you were talking about it, I was like thinking about how I defined it, and I think of it as, I agree with what you're saying, but I also think it means like just, you should never stop working hard just because you get to one place. Mm-hmm. Like, success and growth isn't going from point A to B. It's about continuing your journey and learning to grow.
Constantly flowing.
That's what I mean. Like, so just because you reach your goal and you like get that amount of money that you want, you shouldn't stop, because there's a momentum. You want to sustain what you're doing and how you're living.
Exactly.
And,
and she talks about how her company, she's like, we're not like profitable yet.
Mm-hmm.
All the income that I make from this particular company gets reinvested,
Mm-hmm.
just as a constant flow for like
Yeah.
future income for her.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to have enough foresight to see it in that way, because I think a lot of people would give up if they realize they break even at the end of the year. They're like, this isn't working for me because I'm not making any money at the end of it.
Yeah.
But it's about your investment in what you're doing and just your passion.
Yeah.
Like, nothing comes good. Nothing
comes
nothing good comes out of greed.
You also have to think about, like I said, you have to think about what kind of life. You want. Do you ever see those clips of like people who just drop everything and just leave and just travel the world? And I'm like,
oh yeah,
how much money do you have saved up?
Sometimes they don't, but you know what I realize? They don't have other responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like, we've spoken about how we want to just get up and go, and with what we're earning, we could, but we have responsibilities at home that we can't just like...
Yeah, like what we discussed like earlier today, right?
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just like, it's like, yeah, I just quit my job and I traveled for 5 years. Where's the money coming from? I just don't know. But it's like, is it like family money? But it doesn't look like it's family money most of the time.
I think we should distinguish this. Like, I think there's different groups of people that go through that. Like, there is some people that come from money that can comfortably do that. But there are some people that just feel so passionately about doing that thing in that moment, they'll find anything to make it work.
Yeah.
And like, I know those kinds of people who didn't come from money.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm so in awe of them. I'm like, wow, like, good for you, good for you, because I know I can't do that right now.
So, like, one of my best friends, Alex, in the UK, shout out if you're listening, she now owns a crystal business, but a few years ago, she quit her job in England because she was unhappy, said, F it, moved to Australia without a job, found a place randomly, and then got a job out of it and stayed there for like a year. She like just went with the intent to like travel and like heal.
Yeah, that's the thing. And she did that alone.
Alone.
No friends.
Like, do you know how much strength, like mental strength that would take to do that alone? Like, we always travel together because I think we're each other's security blankets in that way. And I don't know how people do, especially women who travel alone, because I still feel so unsafe being 5'8", let alone 4'11". You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I always think about, like, what if I'm on a train and I fall asleep and I wake up, I'm in a trunk?
Okay, what?
Yeah.
Like
that's what I imagine traveling alone is like. What else am I manifesting right now? Oh, well, so I decided to do a vision board. Okay. Well, I haven't started yet. I have some days off next week for my birthday since I'm not doing anything.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, so I have a couple days off next week where I just planned on making a vision board.
So explain what like a vision board is.
So a vision board is like pictures.
Yeah.
Of what you want to achieve in your life, right? So let's say it's a house. You want to buy a house one day, right? So you have a picture of like your house. Like, I know, you know that story where like Drake had his house like as his background picture on his laptop for like years, and really? He bought that house.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like that, right? So the way I'm doing my vision board. So Call has like a Fujifilm where you can actually print out pictures.
An Instax printer, yeah.
Yeah, from your camera roll. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to use the Polaroids and just clip it onto... IKEA has this like a metal frame where you can clip things onto it. Like a clipboard, but it's like a grid of like metal lines that you can clip to, yeah. And so my plan for that's gonna be like my vision board. Like, I know some people like just like cut out pictures and like glue it on. Like you can do it any way you want, but aesthetically, like this is my idea.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna print out like Polaroids and then I'm going to clip it onto like my board.
Yeah.
So every time I achieve one of like my goals that I've manifested or whatever, I'm going to remove it. And then my plan is I'm going to write down the date that I achieved it.
Oh, that's nice. I like it.
Yeah. So that's my idea. I know that when I was like reading up on vision boards, there's some people who didn't agree with them. Because some people said that, some people, I don't know, this one person said that you're limiting yourself to just that.
Oh, interesting.
But like, I don't agree to that, you know? Like, let's say, like, how much do you really need, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what you want. So I'm like, there's nothing wrong with like striving for that specific thing. Oh, here's one that just like came up in my head. Buying my own Louis bag.
Didn't you already buy one?
Yeah. Oh. You know, I bought like 2 that freaking month. So for years, like I remember like being in high school. And it's like, I want a Louis bag one day. And then I finally did it. It was like, you know what? Like, why not? Just treat myself to it. It was more like the mental like factor of like, I'm spending this much money. Like, even though it's not going to hurt me right now, but I just feel bad that I'm spending this much money.
Because I think practically when you're self-sufficient, you're paying for your own things. You're like, I could have bought so many other things with this money. Yeah.
But then, like, I remember feeling, like, so good.
Yeah.
I was like, I did this, and I did this for myself.
Allow yourself the pleasure.
Yeah.
Know? Treat yourself.
Like, and these things, like, make me happy. Okay?
Yeah, and I don't think anyone should be ashamed of, like, what makes them happy. Like, I love K-pop, and I will buy many albums of the same album.
Yeah, didn't you buy like 7?
I bought like 20.
Oh, 20?
It's what made me happy, and I supported. And look, I got a signed album from my favorite artist behind you.
I didn't know you bought 20 of the same album.
I was supporting my favorite group's comeback.
Oh my god.
And also collecting cards.
You should put that on your vision board. Like, okay, well, there's like certain stuff on my vision board that I want to put on that I don't want to talk about because I like out loud.
I know what you mean, yeah.
You know? But I don't know how I'm going to incorporate it in my vision board, but there's certain things that I just want to happen. You know? And I don't know, I think when I physically see it, because I'm putting it in front of my desk where I work.
Oh, okay.
So, like, seeing it every single day, like, I think it's going to motivate me.
So, yeah.
So, do you believe in vision boards?
I've never heard of a vision board until you mentioned one.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't remember, like, in like, elementary days? Like, you know how people do, like, time capsules?
Yeah, I didn't know. Maybe, like, I know the concept of vision boards, but I've never heard it called that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just it's a visualization of goal setting.
Yeah. So if you're going through something and you want to change, I think you should speak it into existence.
And whether you're saying it to yourself or writing it down somewhere or just, I don't know, in your head, just do it.
You mentioned writing it down.
What?
And I remember listening to a podcast. And she was also talking about manifestation.
Yeah.
And she was manifesting, like, the type of guy that she would be with and, like, all this stuff. And then her followers submitted their manifestation, like, stories. And there was this one girl. So she wrote to her professor. And it was like, thank you so much for such an amazing year. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then she wrote that she got this score, she graduated with this, and so on and so forth. And she didn't press send.
Okay.
And she got every single thing that she wrote down. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I think it's like, You said it before, it's like a mind over matter thing. It's like once you write it down, it's you're like, I want to get this. I want to commit to it.
It's like a diary. So I think that wraps up episode 4.
Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna pass the 7 mark for sure.
Yes, we can do it.
So the 7 mark is like when they say that podcasters usually stop.
Because honestly, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work but I like where my mind is going with this. Like, I'm just like focused on something else, you know?
Yeah, and I'm focused on something that I'm not getting paid for, which sounds like weird, but I'm just like, it shows how much you care about it.
Call.
Manifesting.
So I hope you guys enjoyed episode 4 of Two Cold Brews. For your weekly dose of entertainment, don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Cold Brews. For sneak peeks and teasers, you can check out our Instagram page.
Speaking of teasers, if you want to hear one right now, stay tuned.
Okay, Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
I don't put much weight into this, but I still bring it up at work. I'm like, guys, it's Friday the 13th.
Was it Friday the 13th last year?
What do you mean? There's always a Friday the 13th in the year.
Oh, is there? I thought it like happens like every 5 years.
That's leap year. That's February 29th, and that's every 4 years.
Yeah,
There's
Friday the 13th.